Hey guys, welcome back to Clubhouse Kids. This video is going to be about step 3. We are building your Clubhouse Kids curriculum, and it is as easy as 1, 2, 3. So in video 1, we explored the monthly learning topics. In video 2, we added those leveled math and literacy components. And now we are going to discuss step 3, which is enrich. And that is enriching your classroom with your core skills circle time, your table toys, and your learning centers. So this is the part of the day where big learning happens through connection, repetition, and hands-on play, and this whole program comes together. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I do a simple and effective circle time routine, and then how I use table toys or table activities in my classroom, and then I'm going to teach you how to build engaging learning centers for your space. So it doesn't matter if you have a few students because you're homeschooling, or you maybe have a small home daycare up to a larger classroom or commercial daycare or preschool classroom. These ideas are going to help you create a rhythm that works best for you and your students. So let's jump in first to circle time. This is my core circle time routine that I do every day with my students. We do a morning circle time and we do an afternoon circle time. So this is the part of the day where I am welcoming students to their learning day. And then PM circle time, we are wrapping up the day and getting ready to be discharged and the parents to come pick up. So this is what my circle time board looks like. It's very similar every single month. The only thing that changes out is the theme on the calendar, the color, the shape, and then the weather songs, which will change out seasonally, and then our vocab words. But the setup is the same and our routine is the same. So let me just walk you through how I use this for a morning circle time. So the kids always come and we either sit on the floor or a chair, and we do a good morning song. And then we do attendance, which we will sing and we'll welcome each child that is going to be at school that day. And any children that are not there, we put them behind the house in our attendance section. And then we do Weather Watcher. And so we sing a song about whatever the weather is for that day. And then we do calendar, and real quickly, because my kids are pretty little, we don't do a lot of like calendar math, but we'll just say, today is Monday, August 5th, and, this is what we're doing today. But for the most part, I use my calendar for counting. And so we practice our counting skills using the calendar. And then we go over our color of the month. So for August, it's orange. And then we discuss our shape of the month. For August, it is square. So that is what morning circle time, our core learning, looks like. And then at this time in my classroom, I always do the circle time activity that goes with our theme. And so those activities can be found in the monthly theme. And so we will do that activity, and then the kids get to choose a center. Then we go into center time. Now, PM circle time is a time where we all come back to this same space and we wrap up our day. I use the same board, but this time around, we sing a good afternoon song. And then we have some sharing time where the kids discuss about their favorite part of the day. And we kind of just talk about what we learned about that day to get them excited and give them the vocabulary they need. So when their parents pick up, they can kind of be like, oh yeah, we did this today. Just a little refresh of our day. And then we do our vocab word of the day. So we do vocabulary during this time. So every day has a word of the day, and we will discuss that. And that always goes with, those words always go with our theme. And then we do our learning flashcards. And so we do counting, we do the colors, and we do the shapes. And then we have a music and movement time where we dance and sing just fun songs. And then we do a goodbye song. So that is what our PM song or PM circle time looks like. I have a circle time printables for every single month. And that includes all the routines, all the songs, everything that you need. Just really simple to have that morning circle time and that afternoon circle time. So let's keep building out our printables. So in your teacher tools, you can find step 3, enrich, and you'll find this printable here. And we're going to fill this out together. And so I'm going to show you how I use this. Now, the first step 1 and step 2, we filled out that one with an overview for an entire school year. With this step 3, enrich, I usually fill this out when I'm planning the next month. So I usually do this 1 month in advance. So we're going to fill this out for August. So I have August up at the top. And our theme for my classroom is going to be beach days. And then I have week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. And I like to write the dates here for each of those school weeks. And then the first box is circle time. So for me, I'm going to do August circle time, which is my core AM and PM circle time. So I'm writing that in each of the boxes. And then for beach days, which is broken up into weekly themes. So for week 1, we're going to do sand play. We're going to do activities 1 through 5. So Monday would be activity 1, Tuesday activity 2 for the circle time found in those lesson plans, those activities. Week 2 is the beachside activities. Week 3 is ocean animals. And then week 4 is aloha. So that's kind of how I write up for circle time. And then let's talk about table trays and what those are in my classroom. So table trays are literally trays that I put activities on. I do like to theme these activities, but I have also been doing this for 22 years. So I have gathered a lot of resources. But when I first started, so I rotated a lot of my table toy activities a lot. So until I kind of gathered new stuff every single year. So these are 4 of the table activities for January. And I like to focus on fine motor and cognitive activities for these and also make them so everyone in my classroom can use them, if they are 1 or they are 5. And so I pick out 8 table activities for the entire month. And how I do it is week 1 and week 3 have used 4 of them, and then week 2 and week 4 have 4 of them. So I have a smaller classroom. If I had a larger group of kids, I could have 8 out at all times. I think what's important is to rotate these monthly. If you are giving the kids the same table activities month and month, it's the same and over again, that's when you're going to start seeing your behavior. Their engagement in them is not going to be very, they're just not going to want to play with them. But if you're changing those activities out frequently, they're going to be engaged and play with these activities. So that is just 4 ideas for my January. And then here are 4 of my table trays from another month. This was a transportation month. And so let's talk table trays and how I use these in my classroom. So table trays for me are great because I put them up and then they come down at certain times throughout the day. So I love to use them during drop-off time. It's a great transition piece. So like the kids can come to the table and choose an activity they want to play with or look at. I also like to use these for early risers. So if I have some of my kids start to wake up earlier than others, they can quietly come to the table and play with one of these table activities. It's also a really great thing for at the end of the day. I'm a one woman circus. So when I need to clean up the classroom at the end of the day and maybe I have just a couple kids left waiting for parents, table trays is an excellent thing to bring out as well. And they can play with those activities again because then they're contained to one area and you can kind of start cleaning up the rest of your classroom. So for table trays, I have 4 a week, and that is because I have only 6 students. So, I like to do either 1 tray per 2 kids or depending on what it is. But for me, 4 trays a week is enough for my group. And I'm going to show you, so for beach days, how I do this. So for week 1, my 4 trays will be an ocean floor play, a fine motor fish, a pounding bench, and a stacking toy. And I made a little printable to show you. So this one would be so these would be my 4 trays for week 1 and week 3. And then week 2 and 4, these are the 4 activities. So they get them. This gives enough variety throughout the month that they're not getting bored with these table activities, since I do bring them out frequently throughout the day, and they're usually out for about 20, 30 minutes at a time. So that is how I do table activities. So at the beginning of the month, choose some activities, put them on a tray, and put them up onto a shelf. But just change them out every single month so that they stay interesting. All right, let's dive into the next center. So we're going to get into learning centers. So I have 7 centers written out here. I do not have 7 centers in my classroom, but I wanted to leave plenty of spaces. So if you do have a larger classroom with a larger group, you can create many, many centers. Now, in my teacher's guide, I have a whole bunch of center ideas. You can choose the ones that work best for your classroom. For me, center 1 is always my dramatic play center. I like to rotate these every 2 weeks. So for August, week 1 and week 2, we're going to do a grocery store. And for week 3 and 4, we're going to do a burger shop. All my dramatic play printables I do sell in my store. You can look up those for Level Plus, dramatic play. Those are the ones that I'm planning on doing for August. And then my next center is always my block center. And so for the month of August, this is my block center right here. And you can see I do not like to put out a lot of materials in each of my centers. I think it's better to rotate activities than to throw it all out there at one time. And so for the month of August, we're going to do the magnetiles. We have a little Melissa and Doug lock house. I brought out some letter blocks, and those are the activities that you can find in these drawers on the bottom of my block center shelf. I brought out 2 of my apples for them to play with. I brought out the school bus, and then a Melissa and Doug lock and key puzzle. And then I always like to put a couple books in my centers as well that are related. So I have 2 building books in that center as well. So this is what block center will look like for August. Center 3 is library. And in my classroom, that's just a very small area that's over by my circle time area. And those will just be all the themed books for our beach days. So they can choose to go over there and lay down on a beach bag or a bean bag and look at some of the books for beach days. Center 4 is my sensory, which you can find all my sensory bins in my monthly themed learning. It's always activity 3 in the lesson plan. I use them as a center in my room. I put them into a Rubbermaid tub, my sensory bin, and then I put that up and up onto a shelf. And then when it's center time, that gets brought down and put onto the table, and that becomes then our sensory center. And so for week 1 for August, week 1, they're going to play with kinetic sand. Week 2, they have a mermaid sensory bin. Week 3, they're doing fish in crinkly paper. And then week 4, we're doing seashells in water. And then week 5 is my rotating center. So I have 5 centers in my classroom, but I rotate the next centers. I have 4 different ones that I rotate each week. So for week 1 is always my art center. And this is another Rubbermaid tub that is full of just random art stuff and glue and markers. And if we do a craft in our classroom that maybe has some extra pieces, we'll throw that in there. And that bin goes on the table. They can go over there and they just create whatever they want out of that bin. Week 2, I always bring out my light table. My light table is just off of Amazon. It's $30. You charge it, and then you can put that on just a tabletop as well. It's not super, super large because I don't have a large group. It's great. And so for this month, we're going to do these transparent tactile shells on the light table for week 2. And then week 3, we're going to do our small world center. Small world for us is over the last 22 years, I have collected so many little people activities. And I think every single age from 1 to 5 just loves playing with these little people. I have just so many people and animals and probably so many sets. And so for August, I'm going to pull out the schoolhouse, and then I have another school bus, and then just a bunch of Fisher Price little people to go along with that. And so that will be center week 3, the small world center. And then for week 4, we're going to do a science center, which I'm going to pull out the jumbo ocean animals and then put some magnifying glasses and some tweezers there and let them explore the ocean animals. And so for that class, for this group that I have, that is plenty of centers, that gives us plenty of options to choose from. Hello. So that is how you fill out step 3, enrich. In my next video, I'm going to be going over all the teacher tools, how I then take that yearly overview, how I take this paper and I bring it all together and create an amazing schedule that's going to work in my classroom. It's going to work in your classroom, and I hope you guys love it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.